Hello, Just 2 Film here. I just came back from Venom 3 The Last Dance. I mean, I don't know what you expect me to say. It was pretty bad. Aren't all the Venom movies kind of bad? Like, they're these stupid fun movies for some of it, but for a lot of it, it's like really boring CGI action. Trying to get some depth out of some very hollow characters, and that continues here. I mean, a third of this movie is Eddie and Venom just kind of dicking around. That's fun to see. I mean, it's not anything that's like artfully done. Heck, in one of those scenes, it has one of the worst directed scenes visually in like a big budget, because I think this is a $100 million budget movie I've seen in theaters, where it was like the scene in like a dry area, and the camera could not focus, so it kept going in and out of focus of Eddie walking, and also was like not stable, so they put like a stabilizer on or something, like post-production stabilizer effect. It looked awful, and there was no purpose to it. I thought, okay, it's like a weird character like looking at them or something. Nope, it's just that one scene that looks really bad, and it's like, I'm amazed that made it in, but okay, I guess they had no other takes of that. But yeah, when it's Eddie and Venom just kind of walking around and talking and almost slice of lifing it, I'm mildly interested to see just kind of the fun they have, because I think when this film doesn't take itself as seriously, it's interesting. But unfortunately, there's this other chunk of the movie, which is the larger chunk, which takes it too seriously. So you have a third of the movie being like these boring side characters played by actors I like. Like, I love Juno Temple, but her character is so boring, and she comes from the last movie. Stephen Graham like does nothing. Chiwetel Ejiofor does nothing. So it's just kind of like, okay, we got boring stock characters here that I've seen in other superhero movies, because this 1/3 plot of the science of the Venom world, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. Like, they're just trying to lore dump or try to bring some gravitas to the plot, as if, oh, this is a really serious thing that's going to end the world. Well, I wonder what's going to happen at the end of this movie. I wonder, this series with little stakes, what's going to happen. I will say it was a little bit more conclusive than I expected, but nothing to write home about. In some ways, I was like, okay, this cares a little bit more about its plot than Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's just kind of sad, but I'm not a big Deadpool and Wolverine fan. I still think that's a better movie. Another third of it is just like shitty CGI fights. Like, literally, we have boring set pieces. Like, wow, the climax fight, I guess if you don't want to hear, I'm going to give away where it's set. All right, you ready? It's at like a military base, like the outside of a military base. What a boring set piece for this final climactic fight. I literally was like, they have to do like one more set piece after this, right? And no, that's it. That's how the movie ends. That's where the movie ends. So it's just very boring with so much of it. But, I had fun with little scenes of Tom Hardy bouncing off of himself. Even though I find the whole Venom voice inconsistent in this movie, I was kind of confused. I was like, did like another Venom join into him from the last movie? Because like half of the time Venom's voice is like, oh, Eddie, we gotta do this. But then in the other half, it's like a serious like, Eddie, we gotta do this. Now, coming from me, I know, I'll start the films like, hello, Just 2 Film here. And then like 1 minute in, I'm like, yo, so anyways, let's go into this. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining about the inconsistent voice thing, but it was something that was just confusing for me plot-wise. One thing I kind of liked in this film was that we have these weird animal transformation fusions. So there's like, in the trailer, a Venom horse. Well, they do that maybe 3 times, like 3 animals, and then that's it. The credits are filled with that, but they're just like artwork of it. So it's like, why didn't we have more of that in the movie? That was fun. But you do get a lot more Venom in this movie, and my gosh, some other symbiote, sorry about the pronunciation there. Some of the other symbiote designs, whatever the heck you say it, look awful. Like some of the worst CGI. But I mean, that's not to say there aren't other CGI characters, but my gosh, this film has awful CGI at points. There's some points where I like the CGI. Like goopy animals, whatever. Sure, practical would have been cool, but this isn't something I can really compare to anything in real life, so like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Like, animated, fine, okay. But then, when you get to like some green character, I don't even want to spoil anything, but if there is anything to spoil in this movie, if it's not predictable as heck, it's like, wow, this looks like it's from like a Venom fan animation on YouTube, like the super clickbaity ones that just have like this weird, crappy CGI Venom thing. Yeah, it looked like that. you know, and it was just like, wow, that's some really bad CGI. Like, this is a 100 million movie? I don't know. So yeah, I find Eddie probably the most, you know, only interesting character until they actually had like this family in the film, which wasn't anything to write home about, but like I was entertained when that family was interacting with Eddie. And yeah, the characters coming from the last movie, I was like, no. And I was like, dang, where did Michelle Williams go? But they do have the one store owner character. It's fun to see her show up, even though in this film there's like some insane conveniences of like coincidences across time and space that are just like, wow, we're really that lazy in setting up anything that feels organic in the plot that we just have to do this insane convenience. And this film also has a forced in TikTok dance. Like, look, Sony, Spidey Universe, whatever, they delivered us with the Morbius one. That was something so bad that it was good. In here, it just feels like, oh, checklist. Kids like TikTok. This is a PG-13 movie. We could get more people to go if we have this TikTok dance. And it was so out of place. I was kind of like, wow. Like, not even an ending credits thing. No. It was in the movie, and it's just like, wow, we're really doing this. I guess it's called The Last Dance after all. Speaking of which, there's some needle drops in the film. And these are of oldie popular songs, but I mean, they're songs I do love. So there is some good choices in that regard, but the covers varied because there were some covers, like one cover was awful of a song I love, and I'm like, really? And then a song they use in a montage is so out of place, and it made the montage so cheesy. Somehow I think it was cheesier than the one at the end of the Deadpool Wolverine, like the credits or whatever. So yeah, I don't have too much else to say here. It's a 2 out of 10. A high 2 out of 10. I mean, I don't want to even give it a low 3 because I feel like it doesn't put that much effort, but it was more entertaining than, say, Megalopolis. I like this film more than Megalopolis. Like, I can never rewatch Megalopolis. I was bored out of my mind. This one didn't overstay its welcome too much. We had extremely boring subplots, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't wanting to, like, walk out of the theater for this. It came, it went, it was Venom 3. So that's my 2 cents. Now, I did see an amazing movie last night that I still got to review. So stay tuned for that. You're going to want to subscribe for all these recent movie reviews. And I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.